Now it's time to look at your land
Okay.
and actually figure out a good place to put your bees. This is definitely the number one question, is where do I put my bees? And it is hard to think, like when you're trying to figure out, you want to think about, are you going to bother them? Are they going to bother you? So initially I put my bees in my garden because I only had a few.
Right.
Now I have way too many. And now I'm building a larger apiary spot because I'm realizing that we're kind of fighting a little bit.
You're too much in each other's area.
And I love my girls, but maybe it's time that we did some separation. And so that's where I'm at. I'm giving them their own space, and then I'm taking my garden back. They're still going to be going to the garden and pollinating and doing what they would do, but it's just going to give me a little bit more space. Location is key. And sometimes it's good to kind of let the land speak to you, for you to figure out where would it work best. I think a nice open, dry open land is great. Now you guys placed yours kind of closer to the creek, which is fine. If you, since you said it never floods,
it's never
you're
flooded
good.
there.
It's a little bit up. I think it would be great. You've got a windbreak in the back, and it's away enough that you're not going to be bothering each other. I think that, facing southeast, the sunrise, it's, with the hives facing that way, so that when the bees wake up, they're ready to go. They see the sun and they're ready to go. I think full sun is also very important, because one, there is a hive beetle that they believe might not be as detrimental to the colony if it's in full sun.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's really good to have. The other thing too is think about the flight path of the bees. So like an airport. So when an airplane comes in, that is essentially how the bees will come home too. So if you have your hive facing your front door or your back door, you're going to be button heads a little bit. So give them a good flight path, and then also you have a perfect water source for them. So that is great. And then when it comes to supplies for your apiary, you're going to need a stand. Now, some people will use cinder blocks. Just bear in mind, I've seen cinder blocks give.
Right.
So I want a strong, sound foundation for them. So for me, building a hive stand, I think, is better. Now, yours is about 18 inches high.
Okay. So is that 18 inches to the bottom of the hive?
Yeah.
Okay.
So roughly. And there's a reason why you want it roughly 18 inches off the ground. Some of the predators that you're going to experience are skunk. So when the skunks stand up, they're going to get stung in their underside.
Where it's tender.
And then having an electrical fence for your bear. Now your electrical fence, I think, is going to be even perfect for the skunk.
Right.
I don't think you're going to have a problem at all. I've seen some people will use like a thin, just a wire, for bear, but not thinking skunk.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be very helpful for you, because as we know, the bear, they don't like just the honey.
No.
The bears want to eat the baby bees.
Right. So the skunk what is the skunk after? The
Same
baby
thing.
bees?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all protein.
Okay.
So it's going to reach their hand in there. And
What about raccoons? Are raccoons a predator?
I've never had an issue with the raccoons.
Okay.
I really haven't, but mainly with my chickens. That's my only raccoon issue that I have.